Hi, I'm Carcino.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome. Adam Silver Slipper got caught off guard at this NBA event. And now he wants to say Jordan is the GOAT, but don't tell LeBron I said it. This echoes a lot of what's wrong right now. This was strategically done as this man got to meet Adam Silver at an event that he went to. Shook his hand and everything, former football player. So he wanted to record himself asking a question to Adam Silver Slipper. Well, yeah, this is part of the Emirates deal. He was over there finalizing that deal with Emirates and the NBA for the NBA Cup. Now, listen to what he says when the guy asks him the question.
Who is your coach? Who is your player, best player of all time? And don't tell LeBron I said that.
Don't tell LeBron I said that. Now, is there anything wrong with what he said? Of course not. And a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, he slipped up. Why wouldn't it be? He doesn't care about Michael Jordan being the greatest as much as he cares about anybody else in the world. You know what Silver Slipper cares about? Being Adam Silver Slipper. He cares about the business side of it. He cares to use Michael Jordan's name to promote LeBron James. That's all he cares about. Don't tell LeBron I said that echoes a big problem with the league. The problem is you centered your league around a bum. You put the whole NBA and held the whole NBA hostage to one player. And that's the problem. You see, Jordan created himself. And you guys jumped on board. You guys manufactured LeBron James from his impetus. MJ was that guy coming into the league. When he played for the Olympic teams in '84 with Bobby Knight, they knew he was different. And I'm not. He said they got rid of the comment section. What are you talking about? Exactly. Manufactured history. Everything about it is manufactured, phony, fake. And the fans can see through it. Michael Jordan, I'm not even a Jordan fan. He's light years ahead of him. The same distance of Jordan and LeBron, it's like, well, there's Mars, there's Earth, they're about that close. They're about that close. Are you crazy? There's a lot of athletic guys in the league. Right. Exactly. They catered and built the league, rebuilt it around LeBron James. And that became the biggest mistake the NBA has ever made in a long time. They got to live with that mistake now. They've got to live with it. They have no choice. Absolutely. Well, I have to watch it because I have to be able to tell you what's going on. If they're going to inflate this guy, I'm going to deflate him. I'm not going to let it ride. I'm not going to let a phony parade around and be like, hey, there he is. He's the GOAT. Oh, no. You're not going to get me to do that. A 4-team tournament for the All-Star game. They're trying to do everything they can to make the All-Star game interesting, when all they have to do is let them play ball. That's it. All the guys have to do is play ball. That's it. No one asks you to go out there and hurt yourself. Nobody said go out there and get 300. Just play ball, man. Just play ball. That's it. Oh, that was
Who is your coach? Who is your player, best player of all time?
And don't tell LeBron I said that.
No, he's gonna say Michael Jordan because he doesn't want everybody in the NBA to think he's favoring LeBron James. He doesn't care about any of it. Silver Slipper don't care about any of this whatsoever. He only cares about the business. That's why he's there, to discuss with Emirates. He does not care about the game itself. He came in 1992 when Jordan and the Bulls was already world champions, and they're on their run for the second championship. So he saw the championship run of the Bulls. That's where he came into the NBA in 1992. That's when Silver Slipper came on board doing little bitty charity work for the organization. He was never the guy. He was never supposed to be commissioner of the NBA. But even though this league is 87% African American, they wanted a Jewish person to have that job. A Jewish person handed it down to another Jewish person, no matter how great Stu Jackson was at doing the job.
Tell LeBron I said that.
No, he's gonna say Michael Jordan because he came in under Michael Jordan's the 6 championships. It was all organic. They didn't have to create Michael Jordan. There wasn't a magnet ball. Don't you get it? There was no magnet ball. Right. There was no magnet ball at the time. So why would he even care? Mm-hmm. So Jordan had to go out there and earn his shots. There's no magnet ball then. You got to really earn a shot. Nobody's going to pull the ball in for you. That man has found a way to consistently destroy every fabric of the game. And now he's made it a dog and pony show that you would see. And now it's like a sideshow event when it never should have been. It never had to be. But you shouldn't have had this job, Silver Slipper. That was Stu Jackson's job. He was doing David Stern's job and was shadowing David Stern. He knew exactly what to do, and he was supposed to be commissioner of the NBA. Stu Jackson, former head coach of the New York Knicks, former basketball player, businessman. He was president of basketball operations, in charge of the fines, everything, finding a player. He knew what to do. Thanks, Sticky Finger. Well, you got to see about it because the way you look at it, it's a little bit different than what they've presented it as. David Stern was on his way out, and Stu Jackson was the guy. They were all ready to say, okay, Stu's going to do the job. David Stern was getting too old, and Stu was his right-hand man. They go do things, all the traveling. David Stern wasn't going to make all those trips. So Stu became that guy, and it was like, all right, Stu, you're going to go. As you can see, Silver Slipper never had no goddamn hair. Be like, did you ever have hair, Mr. Slipper? Claiming yourself as the greatest only bad when LeBron says it. But Ali and Lil Wayne can say it all day long. Well, no one looks at Lil Wayne as the greatest. But yeah, when he said it, it was like, okay, Lil Wayne said he's the greatest of all time. Good for him. Ali said it, and hell, at the time, he was great. You hadn't seen nothing like him. But I've always told y'all about Silver Slipper, remember? From the jump. Silver Slipper wasn't supposed to have the job. They would, I might release it to them. David Stern, for 28 years, 30 years, whatever, was the NBA commissioner. Adam Silver was brought in, little scrawny kid, with visions of marketing. He's a great businessman. So when people followed him, they followed him based on these tropes. They was like, hey, David Stern is nearing the end. But what's been reported wasn't the case at all. 2 years prior, David Stern was going to step down. It was announced that David Stern is going to leave. And the reason for this. What's the reason? Was he was getting ready, or he was being looked at as a stickler to the rules. David Stern was going to ban these headbands that everybody was wearing. He was not accepting to the hip hop culture and to basketball. He liked clean rap. It was too much filth coming into the league, as what he had called it. That's right. And some of the players were rebelling against David Stern, that he was out of touch. And he's too old school, and he's going to upset the new era, the new regime, and it's going to affect the collective bargaining agreement. So, on the heels of all of this going on, the new direction of the NBA with the young players coming into the league, David Stern says, they was like, look, you're hot right now. You're making comments and doing things that are against our new direction of where we're going. And David Stern seemed very homophobic in his ways and some of his views and his approach. So they didn't want him to feel this way. So the league and everyone else thought it'd be best if he was to step down. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, really ugly. And he was kind of forced out of position. But they were going to let him stay on as an advisor, which means that he's still going to get his money. He's still going to be able to do whatever he wants and basically still be the commissioner of the NBA. But he's just going to be an advisor now. They can just call him for advice if they need it on something. So, in 1992, Adam Silver Slipper came into the game. He actually had a little hair back then, and it's a thankless job, but he didn't care for it. All he wanted to do was to work in the NBA and promote on a big stage, and everyone was satisfied. So once he was brought in, he stood out at his task of helping the NBA grow in the charitable donations and putting together events like NBA Cares, This is mostly his claim to fame. Like Adam Silver went out his way to be the end all be all and to get the attention of everybody at the NBA office to make sure they knew who he was and his energy and this zest for life. Went to Duke, was in a fraternity, always is in politics. And he worked for the House of Representatives. He was an aide for the House of Representatives. Then he came to the University of Chicago. Yep, he came here, got his law degree, graduated. And when he decided that he's going to leave his law firm, he came over to the NBA, where he doesn't practice law. But he's involved in the negotiation process right there with David Stern. Now, Stern would bring him along because he's a slimy little bastard. And he's basically Igor or Rensfield. These guys who are diehard servants. Right? The Michael Jordan IMAX movie, To the Max, that came and released on IMAX only in the year 2000, 2 years after Jordan retired. And it showed Michael Jordan and the Max. He was the executive producer of that. That was his idea to bring that to the IMAX. He produced all of these new age things like the movie Like Mike, The Year of Yao Ming. He went to the promotion for that. He was all about international affairs. Whatever happened to Michael Ray, the basketball player? He came up with that. He got Chris Rock to come in and narrate it. He wanted to show that we are diverse. That's why they wanted Adam Silver Slipper to get involved. The NBA Development League, the G League, the NBDL. These are the things that he was a part of. Now, not giving all the credit to him, but he had a very intricate plot and a very intricate part of helping excel these new parameters.
Talk to him.
He wants to help grow the WNBA. Well, when will they do that? Well, you have to understand.
They will now.
That when you've been getting away with some of the things that this man was getting away with in office, you got to say, well, this guy's a shoo-in, right? This guy, Adam Silver, he's supposed to be, this is it. He was supposed to be the commissioner of the NBA. But this wasn't the plan. This was never the plan. Because all of this that I've just told you is a smoke screen. You see, when people want to discredit you, take from your work, make you just what they want you to be, the NBA commissioner was supposed to be Stu Jackson. And you might say, Stu Jackson, who the hell is that? Especially if you're younger. Stu Jackson is someone that basically has no connection to anything but is attached to all of it. Stu Jackson worked hand in hand with Adam Silver and David Stern. Matter of fact, Adam Silver was under him for years, learning. When he came into the league and was working and had the job that he had, meaning Adam Silver, Stu Jackson was with the Vancouver Grizzlies organization, helped running that when they got started after being the Knicks head coach. Then Stu was brought into the NBA office. And why people don't really understand that, oh, well, Stu is more than just the Knicks coach. He only coached the Grizzlies, I think, 1 year. And that's because they needed him to while they facilitate what they were going to do. His coaching days was pretty much over. But he knew the game of basketball, something that Adam Silver didn't know. Didn't know basketball. He's a political science guy who knows nothing really about the game. And it screws up everything because no one wants to cover the history of the person that's really doing the job. Stu Jackson was key to bringing in the WNBA in the women's group. And Stu Jackson was supposed to get this job. All the work he's done in the field with all the coaches, the colleges, the universities, more diverse. He was the guy that was the president of basketball operations, but they made him the senior vice president of basketball operations. Stu never caused any waves. Stu was ingenuitive as a coach, as a businessman. And Rod Thorne, who was the deputy, knew Stu and knew what he brought to the table. Everywhere you would see David Stern, you would see Stu as if it was his bodyguard. And Rod Thorne said, Stu's our guy. Seconded. So when you see people who are not really basically in the know, you're looking at a situation where this is going to come to a head. When the decision was made and they named a successor, and the successor was going to be Adam Silver, not Stu Jackson. In 2010, they told Stu, stick around because this is going to get to a point where you're going to regret it if you leave because Stern is near the end. And they said it in 2010. 2 years later, he makes the announcement. And they said, well, do you have a planned successor? And he says, right now, it seems to be Adam Silver. The league had made it clear that Adam Silver is ready to lead the charge. Stu Jackson finds this out and couldn't believe what he was hearing. After he had been told, and he had stuck around all these years because he was guaranteed the job. But they feel he lacks in more legal situations and legal knowledge. You know, he's got the basketball aspect of it, and Adam's going to need you moving forward. And Adam, it's not like Adam's going to have this job forever. You're going to be the guy after Adam to take over. We want you to learn more about, shadow him like he shadowed David Stern and for all these years, and you can go ahead and take over. And he's like, I did shadow David Stern. I know everything David knows. I know everything legally. You know I know it. But why he didn't get the job? Because Adam Silver was something that Stu Jackson could never be. He's a Jewish man. That's why he was really selected. Let's be honest. That's what this was all about. He never commanded the respect of the players like Stu Jackson. David Stern had more of an effect. There was a fear when he came around. When David Stern walked into a room, players, they stood at attention, like, something's wrong. They say, David Stern wants to talk to you. People be cringing, like it was their teacher and principal, grown men. He was the emperor. And Adam Silver is no Darth Vader. Sorry, he's not. Now, Stu was supposed to just, be Adam's right-hand man through the whole transition. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So Rod Thorne had to come out of retirement and be vice president again because he wouldn't play ball. And I commend that man for doing that because that takes a certain amount of guts and zeal to say, screw that. I'm not doing it.
And I appreciate that because what he did by not taking that job is saying, I'm not going to be your little puppy boy. Okay? I've been working for the NBA for years, and this is what I can get out of it, fine. But now they got Stu. Now he's the president of, he's the commissioner for the West Coast Conference, the WCC, the California Basketball Association. So he runs the whole West Coast Conference. He's the commissioner over there. He was not going to be the commissioner of the NBA anymore. This man is coached at Oregon, Washington State, Providence, the Knicks, Wisconsin. Then he came and coached the Vancouver Grizzlies. He's the vice president of basketball operations. I'm like, what job hadn't he had at the NBA level? The job should have went to Stu Jackson. It was his to lose and do with it as he see fit. But of course, Adam Silver sees Michael Jordan as the GOAT because shoot, that's when it was booming. He was there on the rise of the NBA. He came in on the Jordan roller coaster. So of course he's gonna say Mike.
Who is your GOAT? Who is your best player of all time?
And don't tell LeBron I said that.
Can I show you?
Why do you have to say
Best player of all time?
And don't tell LeBron I said that.
Look at him. In his waspy voice, don't tell LeBron I said that. Why? Why is that a crime? What's up, CP? Will this be the week y'all lose? Something miraculous happens every week that allows the Chiefs to win. Every week is like something crazy happens. He said probably the Bills normally get us in the regular season. Well, they undefeated at home. So we'll see what happens. Oh, ABJ, do you even need to ask that question? Why would that even be a question? Mahomes is not great at all. He's nothing like Brady. One's a real quarterback, one's an arcade quarterback. So that's the way I look at it. Montana was better than both. Can't really say that. Look at what Montana had his whole career. He basically had the same dynamic in front of him his entire career. You know, he was a good quarterback. I really respected him when he went to the Chiefs. He did really good. That's the only time the Chiefs had beaten the Broncos is when they went up against Montana. Montana beat Elway. And that was a hell of a playoff game. Elway led a 2-minute drive. Like Elway always had those 2-minute drives. In the last 2 minutes of the game, here comes Elway. Elway led him back. It was no way, Elway. Elway used to break the Chiefs' hearts. He marched all the way down the field, scored the touchdown, and this time they had a quarterback that could get it done. Denver couldn't stop Joe. I'm okay, Florida, man. I was just overworked. I hadn't really slept in 2 days. Really, like, I think I took naps for 2 days. Like, dude, I was active. I was like, whoa. I felt it yesterday. Like, we got to slow down. I missed my meeting today. I had to reschedule it for Monday. But, man. Yeah. So when Adam Silver came along, he was doing all the charity stuff. He's seeing Michael Jordan take the game to billions. See, when the NBA got there, at this point, they're just getting Gatorade. Michael Jordan had Gatorade. The NBA had Coca-Cola. They had Coca-Cola. So they had all Coke products. So when Gatorade came along, it became the official drink of the NBA. Michael Jordan made that happen. See, a lot of people just don't remember the times because either they were too young or just don't remember. But Michael Jordan was the face of Coca-Cola because of the NBA. And when they came with this new company, Gatorade, which wasn't new at all, it was king in the 80s. Coca-Cola didn't return with the numbers that was needed. And Mike used his own mother. They wanted to use an actress. Mike wanted his own mother to do the commercial. He forgot the Coca-Cola again. Michael Jordan jumps in the air, palms a six-pack of Coca-Cola, goes all the way to the clubhouse, lands one. She's like, yes! He snatches one, drops down. That's my Michael. What'd she say?
My Michael.
That's my Michael. So can't beat the real thing, baby. Coca-Cola. Yes. That's my Michael. So Coca-Cola was the official drink of the league at that time. Michael Jordan didn't have anything to do with any of it. He said, talk about throwback. Yeah, that's like thrown back. No, they didn't. At that time, it was all about advertising. Because back then, commercials was everywhere. There was no DVR. There was no commercialless anything. You had to see the commercials. You had the ads. Like here, I don't see ads on YouTube no more, so I don't be knowing what's happening. Michael Jordan's flying in the air, and he grabs a Coca-Cola. Everything has something to do with Mike flying in the air. Now he's floating in space. Can't beat the real thing, Coca-Cola. Now, LeBron is a stiff in comparison. No, it's phony. When you see LeBron James, it's like an imitation. All LeBron is an imitation. It's like Faker He-Man. Do you remember He-Man and Faker He-Man? That's what this is. Yep. Faker He-Man was blue. He looked just like He-Man, just blue. Faker He-Man. He had the fake sword, everything. Faker He-Man. He-Man and Faker He-Man. That's LeBron James. Faker He-Man. I'm gonna have to check that full fight out. You'll take Tim Duncan over Kobe. Here's the thing. Tim Duncan needs somebody to help him take over a game. Kobe Bryant could take over a game by his goddamn self. Not at all, Slepin. I decided not to take the medication. I don't like side effects. I just do it organically. Exactly. They won the national championship by drinking Gatorade. So let me get ready for this Mike Tyson fight. We'll get back with y'all directly, as we will go live during this Tyson fight. All right? Yeah, why is he working with the shot doctor? I saw Stephen A. trying to shoot those shots. Oh, I got Iron Mike all night.